Gerardo.
Happy fucking Monday, everybody. It's your host, Big Fella 305. Welcome to another episode of Miami Fan Talk. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It has been a fun weekend of sports. We're gonna get into it today. A lot of history was made this weekend. A lot of history. Um, First things first, right? Let's get into it, right? FIFA World Cup. Obviously, Argentina winning. Leo Messi, his first World Cup. This man has had probably has had the best career in soccer. Probably he will go down as the greatest football player ever to play the game to lace up for FIFA. Obviously, shout out to the Argentinian team. Shout out to Argentina, the country itself, who so desperately wanted to see Leo Messi, take home that beautiful World Cup trophy. Obviously, it's a sombering moment for Leo. Definitely, job well done for the Argentinian team that has faced so much adversity over the past years, the past World Cups. Getting so close, but yet never able to achieve that goal. That's good for him. That was a hard fought game. France, man, France made him earn that paycheck. France, if there was one, they earned it because that dude Mbappe is definitely going to be the next line up. Scoring three goals, two of them in I think 90 seconds. And then going into penalties, and Argentina was able to go ahead and seal the deal there. So shout out to Argentina. But one of the questions I had, leading up to this after this game, and I was saying it before the game, was there was a lot of rumors with Leo Messi coming over to Inter Miami in June. There's a lot of rumors leading up into the World Cup that he was going to move on from the Premier League and the Paris team, and come over to MLS and kind of ride out the rest of his career here, kind of like what David Beckham did with Inter Miami. I'm kind of hoping, and I was actually saying if he wins the World Cup this year on this go around against France, that there's a good possibility now that might actually come true. And me as just a fan of sports in general, I'm super ecstatic to be able to see Leo Messi here, and what that also entails and brings to the game here in the the US, and how that's going to elevate MLS's stock here in the US too. Now it's not just going to be football. You're going to see a lot of soccer players coming out. A lot of guys are going to have to choose between MLS and football, or even MLS and basketball, because there's some guys in playing football now that can and very well play soccer and play in the MLS league and compete in the MLS league. So you're going to definitely see a lot more of that, where a lot of young kids. And on top of that too, Miami in general is an international city. You got a lot of people from all over the world that come live here, especially in Latin America. So bringing that into fold, and having Leo Messi here, having all these young kids really try to compete at that level, to get to that level, will just it's just basically positive things for the MLS. So shout out to Leo Messi. France too, man. Shout out to France. Beautiful game that they played. They played a hard fought game, aggressive game. They again, the back was against the wall early on in that game, and they were able to claw back in and tie that game, go into penalties, and ultimately fell short. But don't get it twisted. France will be there again the next 4 years. So that happened. Justin Herbert created history this week too. If I'm not mistaken, he is the first player in NFL history to go 3 straight years of 4,000 passing yards. So that also is another accomplishment by Mr. Herbert, Mr. Herbie himself. So there's some stuff that happened today, yesterday, and obviously we have the game tonight. You got Packers, you got Rams. What's going on in the background here? In the frozen tundra. What's going on? I'm gonna shout out to some guys over here in the chat. Miami Dolphins 29. What's going on, boss? Canes Dolphins 1989. How y'all doing? So with that, I'm gonna introduce somebody who's sitting over here in the background. Got drafted by the Dolphins in the 4th round, if I'm not mistaken, 1985. Mr. Jeff Delenbach. Hey, don't forget, Super Bowl champ. He is Super Bowl champ, right, Mr. Delenbach? How you doing?
I'm doing great. How you doing, Phil?
I'm doing wonderful. I'm doing fantastic.
Great.
Man, how's the household going? How's getting ready for the holidays?
Yes.
Getting ready for that game?
Getting ready for game tonight, game next Sunday, and holidays coming up. So a lot of exciting things going on.
I'm telling you. See, Mr. Delenbach, for those of you guys who don't know, or Jeff, he has a unique fold to this game because he grew up a Packers fan. He got drafted by our Dolphins, played with the Packers, won their Super Bowl with the Packers and Brett Favre. So, I thought it was great to have you on the show, just kind of get your insight and your experiences growing up, as a Packer fan, and how that affected, once you got drafted, how that plays out as a player for the opposing team, right? So, like, take me back 1985 draft night. How was it for the NFL draft back in 1985?
Well, it was a lot different. It's the teams all went to New York, and they had one guy sitting there on the phone that would call everybody. And you went to the combine like they still have, and
Right.
Teams would come out and see you and visit with you, and get to know you a little bit. But there's only 28 teams at the time, and I actually had talked to 27 teams going into the draft. The only team I did not talk to was the Miami Dolphins.
Oh, really?
Yes, and day of the draft, I got a call from actually Dr. Tesher, who was the team dentist at the time. He was the guy that sat in New York with the Miami Dolphin helmet phone, and he called and said, "Do you have any reservations about playing in Miami?" And at the time, it was Miami Vice was a hot show on TV, so all I saw was the beaches, palm trees, the ocean, all that kind of stuff. I'm like, I'm going to Miami. Let's go. And they said, all right, hang on. We're taking you here, with this pick. Heard it over the phone. And next thing I knew, I was in Miami getting ready for mini camp, and it just kind of snowballed from there.
Oh, wow. Hold on. Give me a second, boss. I don't know. Yeah, so my bad. My dogs are over here in the background going crazy because they want to go outside. They hear another dog, and I'm like, no, don't open the door. They're gonna start barking. It's gonna drive me crazy. So I'm still baffled that the team dentist called you.
Oh yeah, that was the guy.
Oh man, that's crazy. So you were born in Wisconsin, I'm assuming?
Yeah. Yes, I was born 90 miles away from Green Bay.
Oh wow, okay. And you grew up obviously a Packers fan. So I can imagine that. And back in the 80s too, that was probably a culture shock because back then that's when the Cubans started to really migrate here. It was my people. But we definitely started to migrate back in the 80s and late 80s, early 90s. So I can imagine somebody coming from Wisconsin, how that could be a complete culture shock to you.
It was definitely a culture shock. Obviously the heat was a big factor in coming down here for the first training camp, and just the city of Miami, big city stuff. And at that time, Miami was pretty rough. They had a lot of bad stuff going on and things
that
of
was
that
when
nature.
the riots happened too, the Opalaka riots and all that stuff.
Yep, they were.
Yeah.
Basically on the news, they're telling you if you're at a stoplight and you didn't feel comfortable to run the red light. So it was a rough time.
Wow. You see, I mean, I was born in the early 90s. My dad tells me stories because obviously my dad it's probably about your age or probably a little younger, a little older. But he would tell me stories, but I'd never. I mean, because he was probably the one trying to do it, but but he never told me stories like that. He'd tell me about some of the crazy fights he got into and how wild his friends used to be, and some of the stuff that they did back then. But imagine I wasn't born in Carroll City, but I was raised in Carroll City. My dad was grew up majority of his young adult life in Carroll City, which is I probably grew up about 5 miles from the stadium, if
Yep.
that. So I can imagine back then, how
Back in the 80s, training camp was down at St. Thomas University down there in Oklahoma.
Oh wow, okay, yeah, so that's, and you got some of these young players coming in, and they got some of them, they blinged out a lot back then. I need some players, not all of them, but yeah, I can imagine how that could be a security hazard. So you get drafted, right? You go into training camp, and hold on, give me 1 sec. Let me invite the other panel member, Huevo, who's a huge Packer fan. What's going on, Huevo?
What's going on, Big Philly? How you doing, sir?
Let
How you
me
doing, Jake?
formally, yeah, what's going on? Let me formally introduce you. This is my other panel member. He does our shows Mondays and Fridays with us. Huevo 85. This is Mr. Jeff Delenbach.
Hi,
So
Jeff.
formally introduce you.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. How about yourself, sir?
I'm doing great. I'm doing better. I'm talking to you instead of Big Philly.
All right, here we go.
That hurts my feelings. But sorry. So you get drafted, right? You get the phone call. You're on the plane. You get into Miami. You're dealing with the Heat mini camp. Now you're in training camp, right? Were you introduced to Dan Marino in mini camp or no?
Yeah, I mean, from day one, came in and met Dan and a lot of the guys, and at that time, the Dolphins hadn't really brought in any young offensive linemen for a while. So I believe Roy Foster was the last guy that was drafted offensive line. He was about, I think, in his third or fourth year at the time. So there was a couple of us young guys, a couple of undrafted free agents, myself, and you wait 6 weeks of training camp instead of this week and a half, and then don't play in preseason games and all that kind of stuff. So we had a long training camp. There was a lot of
if y'all can't tell, he's he doesn't like the new training stuff. So he's like, man, y'all have it easy, bro. When I had to earn my paycheck.
They have it easy, and unfortunately, I think it's affected the quality of the game.
Oh,
Okay.
You see, it's tough, man, because like a lot of the fans, at least some of the fan base, right? Because there's a lot of podcasts out there, right? So some of the fan base, at least for the Dolphins, they talk a lot about the inability for these linebackers and DNs and DBs to tackle, right? They do a lot of there's a lot of broken tackles. They're not wrapping up, and so there's some people. I'm one of them that think that has a lot to do with training camp and the way they practice now compared to how they practice, 10, 15 years ago, where they were hitting every day and in pads every day, and it becomes more of a muscle memory over now where they're just looking for the big play, they're looking for the fumble instead of wrapping up, they're punching out, so stuff like that. So it just goes to show you, how important those extra 2-3 days of practice are, and how they how it deals to today's game, at least defensively and up in the trenches, which is the defensive line.
There's no doubt that if you're not doing as much in practice and you're not working with each other and doing things, you miss out on stuff. And I understand why they do it, because they're trying to take care of the players and keep them healthy, but not sure it's really working the way it's supposed to.
I mean, at the end of the day, I think that players, they understand. Don't get me wrong, no player goes into going into this profession, hoping that, they get hurt or anything. I think every player goes into this profession, knowing the risks, but realizing too that, those risks comes with high rewards. You get what I'm saying? So, those especially those guys who are making a lot of money, those receivers who take a lot of hits, those running backs, quarterback position, which now the quarterback rarely gets hit. And even if you do hit him, you can't land on him. So it becomes more difficult for the defensive side. Like, let me ask you a real question. If Dan Marino played in this time frame, in this time period, what would you think happened?
I think we would still be in the record book in a lot of areas at the top of the list. I believe that the receivers would have bigger numbers. The Marks brothers would be stronger than they were back then. Just it's become more of a game for offenses to flourish, and that offense with the Dolphins back in the mid '80s, when we really had things going, we did pretty well. But I think in today's world, we would be putting up some bigger numbers.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, because in today's game, it's completely different from where it was back then. You know, especially with guys like Dan Marino, Brett Favre. A lot of those guys back then will probably be lighting up the numbers now, just like how these guys are now. Like you look at Tom Brady, like I just said, Justin Herbert with three consecutive careers at 4,000 plus yards coming in as a rookie 3 years ago till now. So you can only imagine, what those guys be putting up and the numbers they put up, especially with Dan with his fast release. Like the RPO game with Dan would have been amazing to run. So it just depends. Like I don't know, it's crazy how this game has changed so much compared to the game like that you played,
Mm-hmm.
and how they went away from the run game and it's more of a passing league. So it's just crazy to see all these things.
It's definitely changing, and it's you go back to the '72 Dolphins, and they complained that when we were throwing the ball around in the '80s that the game was so different, and it's evolution. And you get it, you understand it, and the fans want excitement, they want points, but again, not necessarily the best football being played right now.
You hit it right on the head. The fans want to see you scoring.
Yeah. And again, that's you were talking about soccer earlier, and that's always been the downside of soccer is that
there's not a lot of points.
Games sometimes 1-0, and fortunately, I'm not a big soccer guy, but I did watch some of this World Cup, and it was fun to watch. So
that championship, Argentina and France, that was extremely entertaining. To see those teams go back and forth. But it's a different, like I said, it's a different sport. The US, they want flashy, they want points, they want the glamour, they want everything. Baseball's another sport it's a little tough in the US now compared to what it was back then, because it's a longer sport, right? It's a longer game. But like games like basketball and football, they don't have those problems as much because there's a lot of scoring involved, a lot of flashy plays, especially nowadays compared to back then. So you see a lot more. Upside.
High scoring games. You see a lot more high scoring games.
Yeah. So, with that, we'll go back to that. But so you get into Miami. It's mini camp. You meet Dan. Let me put in here Turbo. You meet Dan. Tell me, what was Dan like in a player's perspective, especially on the offensive line, because he probably had different relationships with you guys compared to like his skill players, correct? Or is it all the same? He was the same dude no matter who you were.
He was pretty much the same dude, but he obviously had his friends and the guys. In the football world, offensive linemen, we spend a lot of time in the offensive line meeting room, and you get together at certain times, but you get to know your offensive linemen very well because you're together all the time. The receivers and quarterbacks, they go into another room. The running backs in a room, so you obviously have your groups of people that you're with all the time. But Dan was a good guy across the table. He just wanted to win. Great competitor.
Question for you: Who was now? I want to say who was better to play with, but you played with Favre as well.
Yep.
What would be the difference between Marino and Favre, if you had to say?
Yeah, this is a question I get asked a lot, and it's strange because they're two completely different people. I'd say, Dan, likes his fine wine and a tailored suit. Brett Favre's is a pair of jeans and a beer. Right?
Got you.
Football field, they are great competitors, and they'll do anything they can to win. And you know that they're going to be giving you everything they have on Sunday afternoon. So, they're both great guys, and I'd love to have either one on my team anytime.
One more question for you: Did you play with Sterling Sharp by any chance?
No, I didn't.
You got traded there after he got hurt, I guess. That.
Yes, I went there.
I got you. Okay, no problem. How was it winning a Super Bowl that year?
Winning the Super Bowl, that was obviously very special. Phil talked about it, that born and raised in Wisconsin, fans, and going back home basically, and had a great time. Played in 2 Super Bowls, won one. I started that year out. I was in New England in training camp and tore my Achilles tendon. As soon as I got healthy, Parcells called me in the office, said, you got injured. I don't need you anymore. there's the door. And he said, oh, by the way, Ron
That
Wolf
was
in
New
Green
England,
Bay.
right? That was New England, right? That was with
That was
Parcells,
in New
right?
England, yeah. Yes. And, we beat New England in the Super Bowl that year.
Wow, that's amazing. So no matter what,
Great way to
let
stick
me
it
ask
to
the
him.
question. No matter what, you would have still got a Super Bowl ring, wouldn't you?
Yes. Yeah. But I got the good.
You got the good side though. Okay, I got you.
He got the side that only mattered to him, right?
What about?
It says world champion instead of AFC champion.
I got you. What about Reggie White? Did you got to play with Reggie, didn't you?
I played against Reggie a whole bunch, and I played with Reggie, and I'd much rather be on his team.
Got you. Got you. Guys, it's definitely.
Reggie is one of the best football players, best human beings that ever played the game, and it was an honor to be around him.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you on that one. I didn't get to talk to him personally, but I could just the way everybody talked about him and the way he carries himself. Everybody talked to him in a good light. So
yes, and there was nothing negative on Reggie. He was just always positive and always going to show up and give you everything he has, and a great leader.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So are you? Sorry, Phil. Are you doing anything? Are you doing anything with the Packers, or you just freelancing?
I'm pretty much just retired, and we have a foundation. I do a lot of stuff that way, but I've been up to Green Bay a couple times this year to go up to games and do the alumni stuff. I do a lot of stuff with the alumni here in Miami, and just have a lot of fun with it.
Are you down here, or are you back home where you're from in Wisconsin?
I'm down here in South Florida.
All right, you're a smart guy.
Too damn cold up there.
I got you on that one, brother.
That cold, man. That cold is serious. No joke.
Are you going to the game on Sunday, on Christmas Day, or that's something you'll be watching from your house?
No, I'm going to the game.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Another Packer head going to the game.
Hey, whoa! Don't get it twisted. He probably gonna go to the game representing the Dolphins alum. No, or are you going there as a freelance?
I am sitting in the alumni box, so I guess I have to be a Dolphin fan. But
yep.
I can't lose. When your team wins, I'm a fan. So
yeah. So let me ask you a question. We went into Brett Favre, obviously, and Dan Marino, which whoever kind of took that question right out of me. So that's great. So what was it like going from first off, what was Don Shula like? Because again, I was, by the time I really knew football, Don Shula had already retired. Marino had already retired. So I never really got those years of the Dolphins into me. So how was Shula like, at least as a player's perspective?
Shula was very tough, but very fair. And I felt like he treated everybody the same way. He demanded a lot out of you. And the one joke that we kind of always had, on the field in practice every day was they did things the same way forever, because you'd say, well, why do they do this on this play? Well, that's what they did in 72. So it's like, well, it was good enough to go undefeated in 72, then we're just going to do it that way today. And a lot of things didn't change. It was a lot of the same stuff, but Don Shula is a legend, and he was a great coach.
Yeah, they couldn't figure it out. It took them long enough to figure it out, but
yeah.
What about home? You were coached up by Holmgren too.
Yeah. Yes, Holmgren was a great coach too. The best thing about Holmgren was he really had a good feel for taking care of the players, and he was a player's coach. And I remember going up there first mini camp that I went to. I showed up as a 13-year veteran, and he announced to the team that they're going out to run 40s and do all the things. And I'm like, I got to run a 40, and I'm walking out on the field. He calls me over and hands me a clipboard. He said, "You don't run. You write down times for me." It's like, okay. It was a different thing. If you're a 10-year veteran in his world, you know what you need to do. Don't worry about it. I never went to training camp in Green Bay. The 3 years I was there, he just he signed a new contract the last preseason game, and I'd go up there for the season and play.
You had to make sure you were ready to come in. When you came in, you had to be ready.
Yeah, he knew I'd be ready, and I knew enough to take care of myself. And
Yeah,
I mean, that's how it is nowadays. I mean, you basically, at least that during Green Bay's time, it's the same way how it is now for a lot of these players. A lot of these guys don't come in until the end of preseason. They might, I mean, if they're new to the roster, they might train for a couple days or just to get acclimated. But after that, they're kind of like smooth sailing, just physical, just their workouts and stuff like that they're doing, and getting ready for the preparation for the season. So what was it like going? Sorry, you get drafted in 1985. You're with Don Shula, you're with Dan. Um, then you go play for New England and Bill Parcells. You tore your Achilles, and then you went to Green Bay. So with Holmgren. So what was it like with these three coaches? Obviously they're three Hall of Fame coaches, with Bill Parcells, Don Shula, and Mike Holmgren. How was it like, juggling those personalities? Because they must have been at least three different personalities. You just said it yourself. Don Shula's do your job, straightforward type of guy. You have Mike Holmgren, who's more of a player's coach. What was like Bill Parcells like? Even though you had a limited interaction with him, but what were they like, and how were they different in their approach to the game?
Well, I think you hit it, that they three very different personalities, and Parcells was kind of probably lack of a better term, he's kind of a street punk, wise guy mentality that he would actually come out during training camp. He'd come out on the field and he'd have like 2 or 3 names on a piece of paper. If you were one of them, it was like while you're stretching, you'd be like, "So Delenbach, you going to show up today?" And it's like, "Okay, it's my turn." And he would ride you and razz you the whole practice. If he got to you, he'd go after you the next day and the next day and the next day. If you handled it, he would just go on to the next guy. So it was kind of funny to watch him and his mentality of how he tried to, mentally toughen you up.
Yeah, he's just trying to push you guys and put another gear into you. I mean, some coaches, they do it different ways. I mean, everybody has their own way of pushing the maximum effort out of each player. But I don't think I would have been able to deal with Parcells like that. I'm sorry, I would have been pissed. I would have been so bad. But so you ended up going where? You went to Philly after Green Bay for a season or two, and then you retired, right?
Well, I pretty much retired after Green Bay, and I was down here in Florida trying to figure out what I was going to do when I grow up. And call from Andy Reid.
Hey man, that's what they say, bro. Life after football it's challenging, because it's like you've done that for so long. What's next? And I saw you did some coaching, right? You did some coaching. You did some high school coach ball, right? With I think your son's school, right?
Yeah, I coached a couple of different high schools down here. I coached with the Dolphins for 2 years, and I actually coached a little college.
Probably when our offensive line was a lot better.
They were definitely better, but they're getting back there. They're coming back. So, going playing for Andy Reid was definitely interesting because it was his first year taking over in Philly, and again, I didn't go to training camp. I just showed up I went up there on the Sunday before regular season started. And the idea was I was going to kind of back up and do a little long snapping and help the young offensive line coach out. And the second play of the regular season, the right guard blew his knee out. So I ended up playing every down from then out. So,
that's crazy. You went from playing for Don Shula to Bill Parcells to Mike Holmgren to Andy Reid, all Super Bowl winning coaches.
Yes.
That is crazy. That's one hell of a career, man.
Is Andy Reid just like Holmgren, Mike Holmgren? They're very similar.
They have a lot of similarities, but their personalities are actually a little different. I would say that Andy is probably a little more down to earth. Andy's an offensive lineman, and just that's kind of how he handles himself. And I love Andy because if you want to know where to get the best Philly cheesesteaks, he can tell you. Kansas City barbecue, he can tell you that too. So he's man after my own heart. So,
hey, is it true that after every game he goes and gets a burger after every home game?
I believe that's still true. Yes, that's Andy to a T, though. That he has his little habits that he does, and little things make him happy.
That's oh man, that's a lot of food, man. So I have here Cap for Life. Cap for Life asked you, are you gonna join us each Monday for Overreaction Monday? I don't think so. Oh man. Cap for Life's a trip. He's usually on the show. If you ever catch him, he's a really funny guy. Comes on a lot. So all right, so let's move on now to the current team, right? So what are your thoughts on the current team? Like there's been a lot of divide within the fan base concerning our quarterback, concerning the way coaching has been. Again, it is a rookie head coach with the quarterback under that system or with the new system. What are your thoughts on the current situation of the Miami Dolphins? Point blank.
I think this year that between the coaching, the players that they brought in to put around Tua, and the things going on are definitely the best it's been in a long time. Obviously, the last 3 weeks have been a little tough, and
great teams that we played.
I think a little bit of it is the quality of teams they've been playing. Not to take anything away, but a lot of their wins early on were against teams that were maybe a little more suspect. And now the last 3 weeks, they got into teams that were, peaking and playing really good football. And
you tell them, Jeff. Tell them how those teams were suspect. Turbo. See, Turbo, he's another guy on our panel. He's a huge Ravens fan.
Yeah.
So we gave him hell for a very long time. I still give him hell to this day about his Ravens. So he's staying nice and quiet, tucked away in the corner. You know what I'm saying?
The NFL's, they've been trying to get parity forever, and they've done a great job of doing it. Unfortunately, the parity is probably made at more of an equally poor level as opposed to being an equally good level. And that's where they need to step it up. But I think I like Mike McDaniel. I've talked to him a few times. I like what he says. I like how he handles himself. The players love him. So I think that's going in the right direction. The disappointing thing was against these better teams, Tua and the receivers just seem a little bit off. And why are they off? And it's easy to sit here and look at stuff and say, well, this should have happened, that should have happened. Obviously, they're calling plays because they see stuff in films that they think they can take advantage of a situation. And, I can sit here and say, well, I wouldn't have called that play. I would have called a different play and all that kind of. It's so easy to do, but, in the heat of the moment and what your game plan's telling you, I think they're doing a good job. They just got to figure out a way to score more points than the other team right now.
Yeah. And, again, like even against Buffalo, we put up 29 in Buffalo, which on a normal day, that should get you the win.
Well,
but, again.
Buffalo this time of year and the weather and everything else is a tough place to play, and the Bills are for real this year.
Yeah. They faced their own challenges at the beginning of the season, Buffalo, and even early on as the season progressed. But Buffalo is still Buffalo. Don't get me wrong. I'm now, seeing that game on Saturday, I feel a lot more confident that if we were to meet in the playoffs in Buffalo, I would feel confident in that Miami could be successful in that game. I think that there is some things that they need to clean up, especially on the offensive side. Executing more on more opportunities. There were some missed drops, misreads. There was a big miscatch by if I'm not mistaken, it was Sanders going down the seam. So like there's different things that they could have done. Like we talked about this earlier on another show, where there was different things that led up to that loss. It wasn't just Tua, or it wasn't just one specific player, or like how Tyreek came out on Twitter and said that it was his fault. It's not anybody's fault. This is a team game at the end of the day.
It is. I mean, it comes down to somebody has to make a play at the right time, and they just it's a little bit of chemistry, I think, going on, and just some things that they're still working on, and they'll get there eventually. It's just, can they clean it up for this week, or is it next training camp when they're working?
Well, they're gonna have to, because these last 3 games, although the Jets and the Pats both took a loss last week, and it puts us in a little bit more comfortable situation in the driver's seat. going into the playoffs at the 7th seed. And that's obviously going in with, because I talked about this earlier. Buffalo, all 3 opponents that Buffalo play in this upcoming 3 weeks, they're all must wins. So you have Cincinnati, who's fighting for their division, and Baltimore's the team right behind them. You have the Jets, who are fighting for a playoff spot, who's on the outside looking in, and then you have the Pats, who are fighting for a playoff spot on the outside looking in. So you're going to get a very competitive 3 games, remaining 3 games for these Bills. Not only that, you have 3 games for the Dolphins. You got the Green Bay, you have to respect Aaron Rodgers, right? I give Wevel a lot of shit because I say his receivers can't create separation, but you have to respect Rodgers and what he can do. Well, you have to respect Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon and all these other guys that they have on that roster that are all playmakers, and that defense is for real. They're just in shitty situations. Their receivers took a little bit longer than expected to get acclimated with Rodgers. So, you have to respect Rodgers in that team. So it's not an easy cakewalk for Miami, even though Miami is -6 with the spread. But then you also have, New England in New England, and then you have the Jets at home, which again, those are must wins for those teams, depending on how those outcomes go with the Bills. So it's going to be a crazy next couple of weeks.
Yeah,
I think
it's a tough road for the Dolphins. Really, it's 3 losses at this time of the year is really a difficult thing to put up with, and they got to get their act together. They do have the Packers, like you're saying. Aaron Rodgers comes in here. They need to win, and they get their running game going and the play action stuff going. It could be a difficult time for them, but I do believe that Florida Heat, it's not supposed to be very hot on Sunday. Probably.
Well, it's gonna be cold. Wevo, mute your mic, bro, because there's some static in the background.
Cold by your standards, but not cold by.
Well, it's 49, bro. It's 40. Oh wait, listen. I'm going out as Santa, so I'm going in my Santa suit. To have a little fun. I'm painting my beard. That's why I've been growing the beard. I got the belly. The belly ain't the problem no more. All right. I got the belly. I got the side rolls. The beard is almost there. I'm gonna paint it white. I'm gonna paint the beard white. I'm just gonna wear a wig. I don't want to wear a wig on my beard because the shit gets itchy and I'll be like this the entire game. I don't want that. So I'm gonna paint the beard white, and I'm gonna go to the game like Santa, and I'm gonna have a little fun. And whoever will be out there, he's coming with me to the game. The entire Miamifantalk cast will be there this weekend. So I'll probably catch y'all. Dylan's always texting me, so I'll catch you guys at some point during the game. Right. But I have 2 more questions. One's going to lead up into the Delenbach Foundation. But before I ask you that, what is your thoughts on our quarterback Tua Tagovailoa? What do you think he's it, and can he lead us to the postseason?
I'm going to admit, when they drafted him, I was kind of on the fence about him because he's a little undersized.
I'm very vocal about that.
He's got all this stuff going on. I always felt that if they put the right tools around him, the guy could win football games. And I think that's what he's showing this year is that, he's got 2 great receivers. Offensive line is playing better than they have. Got a little bit of a running game going, and the defense is playing pretty good. So, he's definitely a capable quarterback. Is he going to be the guy that, going to win you a lot of games going down the stretch, whatever? He can put the ball there and let his receivers run with it. But, I don't think he has that arm where he's going to throw the 75-yard bombs and those kinds of things. But he's definitely a very manageable quarterback that can win.
He's a game manager. He's a game manager that can win you a game. Yeah.
Yeah. And he's still,
it has proven to work before in the past.
Yes. No, he does a lot of things good. So I'm kind of coming more to his side saying he's going to be the future, but it's still out there a little bit. Can't quite commit to him that much.
Yeah, and I was the same way. Well, I was like that at the beginning of the season. I think I've had conversations with you prior. Turbo knows, Wevel knows, we all know. I wanted Herbie. Actually, I wanted Tannehill to stay, but then I was like, you know what? If they're gonna get rid of him, at least get Herbert, because Herbert's arm was compared to Marino's arm at that time. And we didn't draft him. We drafted 2. I was pissed. But at the beginning of the season, I was like, look, I want him to prove it. And my prove it game was the Detroit Lions game. The way they kind of started off and then the way they ended the game against a very good offense. Now, now mind me, Detroit's defense is horrible, but their offense has been up there and has been putting up points. So you kind of outdueled Jared Goff in that offense that has been producing 30 plus points per game, almost at this point. So, do I think like Tua's going to throw, like you said, like 75-yard bomb? No, he's not capable of that. But if he can anticipate, he can get that ball there, maybe 50 yards in, ahead of that receiver, and Tyreek can just go up and get it. That's what I think that has been lacking on the deep ball. I think he's throwing the ball a little too late, and then that's why you see like receivers come back to the ball. The first ball I actually seen him get in front of a receiver was last week in Buffalo, that Sanders throw, where I don't think Sanders. I think Sanders was actually expecting it to be underthrown, and that's why he couldn't track the ball. And then when he finally realized, oh shit, it's over my head, he pushed off, which we got away with an offensive PI, and it was already too late at that point. He couldn't get near the ball. So like, there's certain like you said, there's certain things that he does well, and I think that they need to build on that for this upcoming game against Green Bay, which is going to be a challenge in itself, and continue to build on those stepping stones that they uncovered against Buffalo with that run game. Continue to build on that run game going into the postseason, where it's going to be very effective against these teams in colder climate. Because we have a lot of teams in the postseason in colder climate than Miami. Obviously, you have obviously Kansas City, who we are projected to play right now if everything stays the way it is. We're playing the first round Kansas City in Kansas City. You got Buffalo, you got the Baltimore Ravens, you have Cincinnati. Those are all cold climate teams. Not like Green Bay or like Buffalo, but they're pretty cold. So
when it's cold, it's cold. It doesn't matter.
Oh my God, this freaking Packer fan, bro. He went to Lambeau for the first time, no, this year.
No, I went
last
years.
Year.
I went 2 years ago.
2 years.
2 years ago, I went against the Redskins.
I would like to go to Lambeau, man. That's a historic stadium to go watch a game at.
That was a special place, and the fans.
Yeah. I went in December. But I didn't get to see the snow, so I didn't really get to full experience of the frozen tundra. But trust me,
I don't think you want.
That's a cold place. No, I wouldn't mind. Everybody.
You gotta do it. You wouldn't mind. You a Cuban Puerto Rican from Miami, bro.
I always say you should do it once. I'm not saying you should do it all the time, but if you could experience one time a snow game in the actual snow, that would be the best place to do it because there's so much history there.
There or Buffalo would be my two games.
It's like every year I usually take somebody up there that hasn't experienced Lambeau, and it's their bucket list thing, and they always want to go late in the season because they want to. They want to experience the real frozen tundra, and it's like this year.
Take me during the summer, bro.
Up there for the Cowboys game in November. It's 26 degrees and little light snow in the air, and overtime game. So they were out there forever, and I was sitting in the alumni box, so I was in the heat.
That's horrible.
They loved it.
I had a story of a friend of mine. He went to Foxborough like 8 years back, and he was telling me it was so cold because he went in December. It was so cold that when he bought his hot chocolate, by the time he got to his seat, it was frozen. And I'm like, and y'all want to go watch games in that? Like, and then I see these videos of these guys, no shirts on. Dude's got a freaking bald spot here as a box, and he's got Bill's Mafia written on his stomach. And I'm like, bro, I know your nipples are hard right now.
I think it's called alcohol.
Bro, that's a whole lot of whiskey, bro, because to stay that warm, and it was cold. So you mentioned life after football. What are you doing now? And you mentioned your foundation. You do some stuff through your foundation. What is this foundation, and what are you doing?
Well, we have the Delenbach Foundation. Back when I was playing down here, I did a lot of stuff for the YMCA out here in Weston, and basically raised money to build the facility out here. Got involved in helping kids and just giving back to the community. And a few years back, we created the Delenbach Foundation, and kind of took a little different twist. And we work with, we still work with children that are severely ill or injured, and funding them, getting them supplies, and trying to help them stay on the right path. We work with first responders, veterans, taking care of them and their families. And we're a small guy, but we try to keep people from falling through the cracks and get them to the big guys to be taken care of the right way. And basically just try to keep them out of trouble before they get into trouble, and get them going the right direction. And it's very rewarding. We help out down here. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people with the hurricane this time of year. The way the economy is, different things. There's people that need a lot of help, and we've been able to raise money. Our big event is a fishing tournament we do every August, and it's been very good. Even during the COVID stuff, we were able to go fishing. The marine industry was doing very well, so we've been pretty lucky to be able to raise funds that way and help a lot of people.
Tell me about this. Tell me about the fishing tournament. As you said, it's in August. So I'm assuming next year, August would be the next one.
Yes, first week of August, we do an offshore fishing tournament for mahi-mahi. And, I know you know what mahi-mahi is, because I know you like to eat. So, but we go.
You already know, man. Mahi-mahi tacos.
There you go. So, we have a lot of fun with it, and it's been a great experience. It's again, even our tournament, it's not a big time. We don't get all the big world-class fishermen out there. We do more of a family type atmosphere, and again, raise money. And fortunately, we can help a lot of people by the dollars that we raise.
I got you. So Canes Dolphins 1989 asked you a question. We asked you too. One you kind of mentioned earlier. It's how different is the game now compared to when you played. It's definitely what you were saying. Basically, it's a lot less physical now than it was when you played. We kind of touched based on that a little bit. But he asked you, his second question was, if we ever see you out in public or in the community, is it okay to say hi?
Of course it is. I enjoy talking to people, and still, I'm not like the big guys where I get bothered by, people, hassling me every second. Enough people recognize you, obviously a little bigger than the average guy, but so they kind of say, did you play football? And I have a lot of fun with it. I still enjoy talking football and being out in the community.
There's one more question from Cap for Life. He asked you if you have seen the mural of Don Shula over in Woodwood.
Yes, actually I have. It's a very nice.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so I haven't been. I don't really go down to Wynwood too much.
I don't either, but I've been there, so.
Yeah, I know. The Dolphins have a beer that's sponsored by them called Vesasur, where a lot of the fan base goes to watch the away games. They asked me, "Hey, are you going this Saturday?" And I was like, "We're gonna go cook. We're cooking buffalo in Vesasur." And I'm like, "I'm gonna be cooking buffalo in my house. That's where I want to be." So if somebody's interested in this fishing tournament, how do they get a hold of you guys? What's the process of joining, or is there fees? Like, how does it work in that aspect in the fishing tournament to be a part of that, to donate towards your cause?
Fishing tournament, like I said, we keep it pretty low key. It's last year was $250 for a boat to get into the fishing tournament. Probably going to raise it up a little bit this year. We want to bring up the prize money a little bit more and get a little more competitive that way. But you can go on our website is delenbachfoundation.org.
Yeah, it's right there down at the link there at the bottom, guys.
There you go. And you can also follow us on Facebook and Instagram. I don't do any of that stuff, but we have people that do it. And
Delenbach Foundation.
Yes.
The Delenbach Foundation on Instagram and on Facebook, guys.
Yeah.
So, hey, it was a pleasure having you on the show, Jeff. As always, man, I love your insight. I love talking to you on and off camera. This is the first time on camera. It's usually off camera, and it's usually a voicemail. But hey, Dan, I want to thank you so much for coming on the show. It was great talking to you, getting some insight, during your playing days and your heyday, and your experiences with those two unique teams. My last question to you: score prediction. What you got for this Sunday?
I'm gonna go with the Dolphins. And I believe it's going to be it's going to be a close game, but I'm going to go with the Dolphins 24-20.
Oh, close one.
Yep.
A nail biter?
Not bad.
That's a nice game. That's going to be a nice game.
I think it's going to be close. So now I got a question for you. Where do you get a Dolphin tent that you're wearing as a shirt?
Oh, man. There's a lot of material to go around this body. A lot of material. I got it from Fanatics. They sell my size, surprisingly, 3X. It's got my last name on the back. I have two, actually. I have this one, and it's 15, right, for the year I got married, for the date. Then I have another one that's my Big Philly one for my name, right? And then number 69, Big Philly 69, because they don't do 305. But anyways, that's a whole different story. But it's a lot of material, man. It's very expensive. Very expensive.
I understand.
Hey, man. Hey, you know what? I'm going to try to find the Delenbach. I was trying to find some sports cards to give out. I couldn't really find a lot from you, but I guess it's because they probably started after.
My wife bought all.
You got drafted. I saw a couple, but not from the year you were drafted. It was like 92. But I want to get a custom jersey. I'm going to see if I can find a way to get it. It's going to be half Green Bay, half Miami with your number from when you were playing Delenbach. And what we'll do is whenever I get it, I'm going to auction it off and everything will go towards your foundation.
Well, thanks.
Okay. So I'm going to see how to do it. I have to go on there and search, probably Etsy. Is where I'll probably get it because I have to find somebody to do custom jerseys. And then I'll bring it over to you, and then we'll do something where we can get some proceeds to help you, to help help our local community, right? Because you do a lot of stuff too for first responders. I saw that you did something for the nurses here at Memorial. My wife's a nurse, so it kind of hits home. So I definitely want to be able to assist you guys in any way I can to help continue the good wealth, right? To help the good deed.
Yep, great. We appreciate it.
Hey, man, it was a pleasure, brother. As always, brother. I'll talk to you. I'll probably talk to you leading up to the game because I got to get with Dylan to see what we're going to do. And then we'll go from there. All right, bud?
All right, sounds good.
All right, brother. It was a pleasure, man.
All right.
Forget those cheeseheads. All right, bud. And that was Jeff Delenbach, guys. Let me add on here Willie Beeman, 84. What's going on, Willie Beeman?
What's happening, Pimpin'? What's good with you?
What's going on, my friends? How you doing?
Oh,
you just missed Mr. Delenbach.
Yeah, man. I followed a little bit right there, man.
That's good, man. Hey, I'm going to open up panel to kind of give some of you guys insight on what Mr. Delenbach said. Thank all you guys, Cap for Life, Canes, Dolphins, all you guys for asking questions. I couldn't really get to everybody's questions because we had our own list of stuff we wanted to ask. But I want to thank you guys for giving me some extra questions to ask him to kind of sneak in there. Cap, you're a trip, bro. You're a trip. What did you guys think, man? Tell me what you thought. Huevo, I know Huevo for you. You got a lot of good insight of your Packers and what he did growing up. So. You got to
yes, sir.
So what you thought?
Yeah, I thought it was a good interview, man. It was good. It was nice talking to him. What can I say, man? He knows his stuff. He knows his stuff, and like you said, we should all try to do something for the foundation that he has because he's doing something good out there for the community.
Yes, sir.
And, it's good to talk to somebody who knows, who's played it, who's been in it, and what I'm saying, he's been in it with, like you said, 4 Hall of Fame coaches, all of them that have won a Super Bowl. So
him himself winning a Super Bowl. Well,
we're
not going to count the Pats one. We're not going to count the Pats one because he said.
Well, the Pats. He said the Pats. The Pats is, remember that same year he was playing for the Pats, but then he got traded to the Packers and he ended up winning a Super Bowl against the Patriots.
No,
but I told him.
I thought he was released because he tore his Achilles.
He was
released.
What if he played for that team? If he played for the team, they released him, but he went to they made him go. They traded him to the Packers. But I think if I'm not mistaken, if you play on that team,
you
somewhat you get traded, you get a ring no matter what. So if the Packers would have lost, he still would have won the ring. It would have not, to be honest with you, it would have not been meant nothing because he wasn't on the team to win that ring, But thank the Lord, it ended up going the way he wanted, and he ended up really winning the ring and hosting up the trophy. You know what I'm saying? It's nice, man. It was a good insight on a lot of things. And like I said, he comes from a different era.
Hey man, Poseidon just tried you. Poseidon says, "Yeah, Web 85, your cheap ass ain't donating shit."
No, it's not. I don't gotta donate anything. I'm just saying he's putting out stuff out there for people to do something. So if we can, we got people that.
Yeah, man. Please, bro, shout it out. Go like their Facebook page or their Instagram page, the Delenbach Foundation. They do a lot of stuff here, guys, for again, for first responders, for people in need, just naturally, man. There's always somebody in need. So if you guys can donate something or even join that tournament, join the fishing tournament. If you want to go at least have some fun, right? Late August, mid-August, whenever they decide to do it, get on the boat. If you love fishing and you want to pay that fee, get on a boat. Hey man, go enjoy it, and it's for a good cause. Make sure y'all go ahead and like and subscribe to them, or like and follow them, the DelenbachFoundation.org. And then you can also go onto their website, and there's ways to donate as well. And you can kind of see what they're doing in the community. They do a lot of stuff for vets too. So it's a lot of good stuff, man. A lot of good stuff. So yeah, man, let's get into it, bro. You got the Packers in the background right now. We got the Packers playing today against the Rams. I don't know. I'm kind of feeling the Packers today. I'm kind of feeling the Packers tonight against those Rams. I don't think the Rams have Matthew Stafford. Still.
Oh, the guy Baker Mayfield starting today.
That's
no
right,
Aaron Donald. No Aaron Donald either.
No Aaron Donald. It's cold as shit in Green Bay right now.
15 degrees.
15 degrees?
Diablo.
Holy shit.
But no snow. They say it's supposed to probably get snow, but if it does snow, it'll probably be in the second half.
Babe,
like just Buffalo game.
It's 15 degrees. I can feel it from the TV.
It's nice outside right now. You go outside right now.
Oh, there was a nice little draft. That's why I closed the door for the sliding glass door.
Nice weather right now.
That game on Sunday, 49, I think.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Go beat that ass. 49.
Let me welcome our fearless leader, Mr. Poseidon. What's going on?
We're going to go 49 on their ass.
Hey, listen, I had to get on here and say something. Well, your cheap ass ain't gonna donate shit, man.
Not me donating. I don't gotta donate. I'm just saying you got a good foundation, and you know what I'm saying. He got a foundation. He know what he's doing. He got something going on. He know about football. He talked about something. They asked me about what I thought about the interview. I just gave you my honest opinion.
Okay, all right. I respect that. I respect that. He's doing something good for the community, and we got, you know what I'm saying. When somebody's doing something good for the community, we always gotta shout them out, give them love, you know what I'm saying? Because we what we want. We want everybody to come together, not grow apart. And that you know what I'm saying. Right now, that's what the Dolphin fans are going through right now. They're pulling each other apart instead of coming together, and that's what we need. We need the Dolphin fans to come together. Because you're on a 3-game losing streak. You're on a 3-game losing streak, and you got people. You got some Dolphins fans talking smack, and you got some Dolphin fans that are saying, "Hey man, we right there. All we got to do is get back on the winning circle and stuff like that." So let's do.
I'm gonna be the one that's saying we're gonna whoop your ass. That's what I'm gonna say.
It's easy.
We're gonna whoop your ass.
We're gonna treat
that game like
it's easy for a fan like us to sit there and make it seem like everything's easy when these guys get paid millions of dollars for a reason. So as a fan, we don't get paid nothing. The only thing we want to do is just criticize and saying this guy's bad and this guy shouldn't be good and this guy. But that's why they pay those guys up there in the front office those big bucks. Mm-hmm. Now, through all this, everybody's complaining about the players. But again, the front office, I believe that the front office has done a great job in getting this core together and doing and bringing in Mike McDaniel and doing what they had to do to make this all work. Of course, not every game is going to go perfect, people. Every game is not going to go perfect. It happens to the Tom Brady's. It happens to the Drew Breeses. It happens to every single quarterback that you could think of. Why isn't nobody talking about Justin Herbert and the poor performance he put on yesterday? Of course, everybody wants to sit here and bash Tua, and I'm glad Tua today at the conference shut all that shit down about playing in the cold. Because enough is enough, man. You know, these guys go out there, put their bodies on the line, and then all these people want to say they've never played a football a day in their life.
Hey, real quick, let me welcome to the panel right now, Canes Dolphins and Cap for Life. Frequent viewers.
What's up, everybody?
What's going on, man?
Going on.
Gentlemen, how are you, gentlemen? How are you?
What's up, Cap for Life? What's up, everybody?
Go ahead, Poseidon.
No, I mean, look, Poseidon has a point. Look, I get what Poseidon is saying. But in my case, in my personal case, I've been supported since day one. So if I am in a day and age right now where they can, when I say they, the front office and everyone else can hear what I have to say when it involves my opinion regarding the state of the affairs of this team, you best believe that you're going to hear me, especially when I'm coming out of pocket every year, hitting the hundreds and the grands. So, I mean, there's a time to be supported.
No, I get it. I just what I don't understand is the backlash when you're supposed to be rooting for the team, not trying to bring them apart.
No, that's one thing though. To root for the team is one thing. I agree 1,000%. But the root for the player, to each their own, bro. I don't have a sentimental attachment to none of these guys, bro, because they don't to us either. At the end of the day, it's all about the logo, bro.
Yeah, exactly. They'll bring somebody else, maybe sorrier, maybe just like Todd. He thinks Duke Riley is better than Baker.
No, Todd, if you're listening.
So what trips me
how
out?
Wrong you are, bro.
What trips me out? Where the hell's Todd been, bro?
Bro, I tell you, ever since I put his
Duke Riley,
bro.
Duke Riley looking like shit. That's why he ain't trying to come off.
What out is when people do criticize Tua and they have constructive criticism, they get labeled being a hater, and then they are the haters. Don't get me wrong. Like we've seen it, bro. We've seen the level of hate. We've seen the level of people jumping off ship. Like me and Big Philly, we got one on here. But for Tua to say that he doesn't put stock into what the fans say, for Tua to say that he doesn't listen to what the fans say, that he has his inner circle, but yet he's taking receipts and giving a crap about what people say about the wintertime and him playing in the cold, that goes to show me he is paying attention to us. So if he is, I think he needs to focus also that he realizes in a state of affairs where he's 0-3 right now in December. Now, that's not on the fans. So if anybody gets upset about that, we need to realize that the guy we got under center right now is labeled as a guy who can't win big-time games in December, and that's not elite. I'm sorry.
That's been since he came into the league. He hasn't been a really good performer in December. Period.
He's 1-6.
Yeah, he hasn't been good. And this is one thing.
So when I say something like that to you, all six, is that considered hate or a fact?
That's a fact. I'm gonna say this, Cap. You're absolutely right. Because it's not gonna get harder. It's not gonna get harder from here to the Super Bowl. The be hard is gonna be the Super Bowl game when they're playing Arizona. That is gonna be nice weather. Other than that, it's probably gonna be shitty weather wherever the hell they go. Because it's gonna probably be cold. If they gotta go to Cincy, it's gonna be cold. If they go to Buffalo, it's gonna be cold. If they go to Kansas City, it's gonna be cold.
I want the Chiefs, man.
If they don't want to play in the cold, maybe they should just join the USFL or the XFL, who plays in February.
No, you guys are right. He's killing the narrative about playing in the cold. Don't get me wrong. That game was not on him. I'm not blaming him whatsoever. So he's getting over hurdles of winning in the beginning of games, and then he's getting over the hurdle of playing in cold weather. What other hurdle he got left?
There is no other hurdle.
Yeah, there is none.
Yeah, you got to pay him.
The only other hurdle?
No, December is the other hurdle. You can't pay him until he wins in December.
No, because he's won in December.
Tony Romo never won in December. Yeah. He got paid.
No, the only other hurdle
Tony Romo never won a first-round playoff game.
That's what I was going to say.
The thing is, look, if we're going to talk about keeping him next season, which we are going to keep him next season.
Of course they are.
The thing is, we have the option for the extension. Do you think we're going to give him an extension after this?
No, I think they'll tag him.
Hell no. No way in hell that happens anytime soon.
I'll say it like this: they give him an extension depending how the rest of the season goes. If you guys make it to the playoffs, and let's say you win a game,
Then we'll talk. Yeah.
then you get an extension. But if you don't make it to the playoffs, I don't think you get an extension. They probably give him a 5th-year deal, that 5th-year option. And if you do make it to the playoffs and you get kicked out in the first round, I think it's the same thing. You give him a 5th-year option.
Y si eso pasa, papa, and we don't make the playoffs, and they do flip-flop and go somewhere else or trade him, then that's not on the fans. That's the front office telling you they don't trust him. That's how quick and easy the NFL will get rid of your ass. That's what, not for long? That's what it stands for?
And I still have that fear in my head, too.
But that's a problem because they've been telling you for 5 years before they even drafted Tua that Tua was going to be the franchise quarterback. You already had it embedded in your brain that Tua was going to be the guy before he even got drafted.
You know how hard.
So if that's the case, then why did they
Cap, you know,
throw him under the bus last season?
You know how hard it's going to be for them now to move on from him too, with him winning the Pro Bowl.
Bro, the Pro Bowl for me, like Tyreek and him right now, are number 1 and number 2. Bro,
Yeah.
I guarantee you, those guys will tell you the same thing. They could care less.
Pro Bowl is just Pro Bowl. At the end of the day, the only thing that Pro Bowl does is give you money. It gives you money.
But exactly. It adds to your paycheck.
Money and clout.
Yeah, but it's cloud, but he's still Pro Bowl.
And half of those guys never play. You get the alternates coming in.
Yeah, but that's what I'm going to tell you.
He still gets labeled as a Pro Bowl quarterback.
Normally some of those guys are in the playoffs, so they don't play.
Yeah.
But the best
Or the
thing would
Super
be for
Bowl.
the Dolphins. But the best thing for the Dolphins would be just to pick up a 5th-year option on him. That's it. Because you don't franchise tag him. Because if you franchise tag him, you're gonna have to put him up
But here's the thing, though.
in a high amount.
I get that, but here's the thing, though. You don't franchise tag him. He has another year like he had this year, next year. Now
Bro, we franchise tag Gesicki.
Franchise tagging
but I think
Gesicki and a quarterback are 2 different things.
Listen, but this is what's gonna hurt. This is what
They're gonna transition tag him if anything happens. Transition is that they gotta go to a team. We gotta match the trade and then probably get more compensation in return.
But I think they kind of fucking Gesicki in the ass because I think they franchise tag him because of the, you know what I'm saying, they didn't want to give him a contract. But now look at the numbers that he's putting up this year. If they franchise tag him or they give him a contract this year, it's nowhere near what it was worth last year because he hasn't done anything this year.
And so I said a situation like Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, the player won't be happy.
Even if you do franchise tag him, you have to franchise tag him at the low part of the spectrum because he didn't do anything this year.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. He's gonna play with us regardless.
So maybe they're doing that on purpose, bro. We don't know. Maybe that's why they're not throwing him the ball. Maybe that's why he hasn't found
They're
any
purposely. You can tell how frustrated he is because even when they bring him off the field, the look that he gives, like what the fuck, like he's just like what the fuck. Bro?
I mean, come on, honestly, but they're not throwing to any of the tight ends. Come on now.
They're not.
No.
They're not.
They're using them to block.
They're not even using them.
They're using them to block. Let's be real.
Hablo que hacia dicho.
Even if we had a guy like Kittle here, even if we had a guy like Kittle or Kelsey, they probably want to throw them.
No, they'll use. If they had Kittle,
Nah, we had somebody like Kelsey. You'll use them. Hell yeah.
Kittle could do both.
So
Kittle could block.
let me ask you guys this. Let me ask you this. So if I don't know, do you guys think it's coaching? And if you think it's coaching, wasn't coaching the issue last year at the same time? Last season?
No, communication was the issue, not coaching. This guy wasn't communicating. He completely abandoned his team to the point where he was fucking treating them like children, making them walk in straight lines. He had a power trip, bro. There's a difference. You don't need that type of leader in the locker room. And that's why they got rid of him, because he lost the locker room. How many players came out after, even was still with the Fins and have long past gone from the Fins, came out and said that this dude was a lunatic? That's why they got rid of him. Well, coaching wasn't the issue. The issue was that this dude they kept telling him we're not moving on from Tua. He kept insisting. He got mad. He threw a temper tantrum. He started out like a fucking child. And they said, all right, bro, you want like a child? We're getting rid of it. Basically.
I don't think that's what it was. I think there's more to that.
I mean, welcome, bro.
I think he wanted more full control I think he wanted more full control, and they didn't give him the control that he wanted. So
that was part of it
Flores?
too, bro. That was part of it.
That's part of it too.
For Flores, right?
yeah, he wanted Belichick type of power. So obviously,
He
if you
was
look
Belichick.
without Tom Brady, we already know what Belichick is right now.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna tell you one thing. There's a lot of stuff that Batman and me know. There's a lot of stuff that we know behind the scenes, man, that was really to the point where we knew this was coming with Flores. So that, that right there, we realized that there was more than just coaching when it came to him. But just the excuse now with McDaniel is what? Because he's a rookie head coach, so he gets the free pass this week.
But that is.
I mean, it is his first year.
Well, I'll tell you, a coach that probably won't have a free pass. The Indy coach.
Oh shit! Yeah, he's gone.
He's gone.
And you notice
he's gone.
And you notice that they've, moved away from the whole paying him to tank. So I don't know, man. I just don't know. I just hope that they win. It was a good game. I love the game, but Cater Cahoot fucked that shit up.
Yeah, rookie mistake.
Well, he's a rookie.
Yeah, but the thing is, man, look, I think Damian Crossing had a big part in that game. He was getting torched all over the place also.
Mm-hmm.
The secondary was getting exposed. Javon Holland got hurt. I mean, they were exploiting.
He came back.
No, he came back.
He came back.
Mala, listen to this. None of y'all, I don't know if y'all noticed. So the spy.
They didn't put him back out there.
Hold on. So Josh Allen's spy was Duke Riley. And Duke Riley kept getting torched. He kept overcommitting. Turbo was telling me, he's like, bro, like that big gash that Josh Allen had for like 50, 60 yards, that was Duke Riley. Duke Riley overcommitted on the inside and left that gap wide open, and then he couldn't recover. So that was Duke. So what they ended up doing was they're like, all right, now Duke can't cover him, and they made Holland the spy. They made Holland the spy because notice he wasn't doing that shit again after Holland.
He got to Allen once.
And where did you get this information from?
It's called I was watching TV and I saw it and I was like, bro,
these guys are smart ass, bro.
But it's true, man. Go back and look at the film. It's true. Duke Riley was on Josh Allen majority of the time. He was that.
Yeah, but I mean,
he was sitting underneath. He overcommitted on multiple times.
Obviously, the game was a shootout. It was a shootout until the end of the game. Jalen Phillips, that boy's a stud.
American Pride, Ohio, man. Shout out to you. Great stuff you put in the comment section. The offensive line is why Tua's looking bad. Looking at the beginning of the season before he got hurt, that line was protecting him. He started out 3-0, then he got hurt, and after that, the offensive line went to shit, which is true. But then again, the reason why that happened was because Terrell Marstead got hurt as well.
Now, what happened with Tyreek in that play? That he looked lost. He looked lost.
Let me tell you something, bro. I'm going to tell you something. And I'm not going to use the excuse of the snowballs, bro. But the first play that we had in the red zone, they nailed him with snowballs. That's why he didn't catch that ball. Sheffield got hit with a snowball. But nobody's talking about that.
Yeah, we ain't get no penalties either. And
yeah,
that's some bullshit.
That right there. Yeah, that right there. I mean, you can't. There's nothing in the rule book for that.
If you look at the replay, Poseidon, you'll freak out, bro.
Yeah, man, they got hit.
Yeah, but there's nothing in the rule book. There's nothing in the rule book for that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, they ended up getting called the 15-yard personal foul.
Bro, the year after that, well, I think it was last year, the season before that, they were throwing dildos on the field, bro.
What the fuck, really?
Hey, you know something?
If I'm lying, I'm dying, bro. If I'm lying, I'm dying.
No. There was a photo of a
Look it up.
What the hell?
They were giving out adult Happy Meals over there.
Cat, there, you had to bring that up, bro.
I'm just saying, bro. These guys were throwing everything.
Yeah, that was a little fucked up. Maybe when they come down here to play, maybe we should throw some beer bottles out their asses or something, dog.
Something, bro.
You know what though? Hey, you know what though? We went up there in the cold, right? And we didn't complain. And when they come down here, oh, it's too hot. Man, fuck them Bills.
Yeah, it was a
Spoken
Bills
from a
fan.
fucking Dolphins fan. Fuck them
It was a
No,
Bills.
the thing, you guys think about it, bro. If they're not hurting our quarterback, they're doing some illegal shit that it's claimed as legal, and all they get
Yeah,
is a
man.
freaking microphone reprimandation. Like, hey, stop it! Don't do it no more. What the hell do
Yeah,
you think is
fuck
gonna
them
happen? If you
Bills.
tell them stop.
I'm hoping that the league comes out and says that they want those fans banned, because obviously when they go back and they
They don't
look,
have
they
to
can
now,
tell who was
really.
throwing snowballs.
They're not doing anything, bro.
No, I think that the next time this happens, they should continue.
If
to
it was a
throw flags.
playoff game, I agree with you on that.
I think they should throw flags. At some point, if they continue, then they should disqualify the team for the fan
But
base, because then they
that
can't
game was
protect
for
the
playoff
opposing team.
implications, so there should be something should be done.
No, I agree with you, bro. But they're not gonna do it, bro. They're petty, bro.
Having
They're gonna say that
neutral
they
sites.
postponed the game and they penalized. No, they postponed the game. They penalized the team. That was enough for that instant. But if it continues, then there has to be severe.
They kept throwing snowballs after that. They still kept throwing snowballs.
Then
They'll find a scalper before they find a guy throwing a snowball on a regulated time game in the NFL.
There was one guy that I saw in the video. He took a shit in the snowball and he threw it out there.
What the
I
fuck?
believe it. I
Vamos a
believe it, bro.
tirarle, mira, le vamos a
I
tirar
believe
pan
it, bro.
cubano.
That's some
Vamos a tirarle
sick
pan
shit.
cubano ahora.
Te lo juro, bro. Te lo juro. I believe it, bro.
You know what they call that? They call that an ice molten lava cake.
That's nasty though. A snowball with shit in it? Oh hell no.
Oh,
Get
Kane's
Get the
office
fuck
looks
away
like
from
he's seen
me.
one of those before.
No, they also threw yellow snowballs. You know those?
Oh.
Oh, come on, bro.
Dog, it's true. It's true. They were
Oh.
whipping out his dick right there. They're peeing all over the snowball, and they throw the snowball at people.
Bro, I have to ask one of my friends that was at the game.
Like, yo, you should
What he
tell her,
saw.
hey, how many yellow snowballs?
Nah, man, I'm just bullshitting, man.
No, for real, I'm gonna ask.
Yo, can you imagine, bro? You look over, bro. You're sitting there watching the game. And you see some
Oh,
dude just taking a shit. He's just taking a shit.
Hey, man, that snowball was white. What happened?
They can still cover it with the snow.
Yeah, they can. I don't know that was there. Yeah, they can.
They say they hit him with a frozen turd.
So let's so we talked about this game enough, right? You know, it was an unfortunate loss, right, for us, but it did prove a point, and I know Cat for Life hates it when I say it, but it's true. It proved the point that we can play Buffalo
God.
and still keep up with that offense.
The moral victory.
Bro, I wanna win, man. Fuck
is.
that.
Hey, it is a moral victory because
Nah, bro, no more victories here. Nope.
Hold on, Cap.
Win.
Hold on, Cap. Wait a minute. All right.
Hey, you guys play chess? You guys ever play chess?
We're gonna get our revenge, bro, and it's gonna be in the playoffs in Buffalo. We're gonna get.
I hope you're right.
We're gonna get our revenge because that proved that we can play there, and they already know what to expect.
Yeah.
It's only gonna go up from here. I'm telling you.
Yep, we got a point there.
It's just like a fart. It starts from the bottom and then it rises up, man.
Oh,
shit! Look who made an appearance tonight.
Well.
Mr. Todd. It's Mr. Todd.
Todd, are you okay? Do you need water? Are you hydrated?
I'm just pissed off about the game. You got to remember that game. That game is more. That was the first game I went to with my uncle, who was a Buffalo fan.
Look at that bottle and Red Bull. Damn.
So I want to win that one more than any other game. But we were 3 plays away from having that win. First, Tyreek, Sherfield, dropping that touchdown, and then Braylon Sanders. Instead of pushing off, if he would have just kept running, it would have been right in his hand.
No, he had to go inside. He threw that inside, and he went outside.
No, he slowed down. It showed him slowing down. Even people were slowing down.
I'm telling you, bro, that was the first time that I ever seen Tua overthrow a receiver.
it's just irritating because we had that game.
Well, you can
Cater
also
Cahu messed up the game.
you
No.
can
He
also
messed up
say-
the game with that pass interference, knowing
You
Let
can
me ask
also
you this,
say
though. How-
Cater Cahu. You can also say Duke Riley. You could also say Javon Holland's misinterception.
Cater Cahu. I don't care about the other guys. I don't care
No,
about that.
but how the hell do you give up 30-something yards rushing on the last drive when you
Everybody's
only give up 8
blaming
total the
Boyer,
rest
bro.
of the game?
Because they're playing.
I'm
And I
not.
can't believe
No.
none of you.
Cap,
I can't
Cap,
believe none of
Cap,
you guys
Cap,
saw
Cap.
Todd. You didn't see Boyer fighting with McDaniel on the sidelines. I can't believe no one didn't see that.
Hey, Cap. Here's the thing. I'm not blaming Boyer. You heard what I said. The plays were that we lost the game. I'm saying though, I can't blame Cater on that last drive without blaming the run defense on that last drive.
But they're playing
It goes hand
conservative.
in
That's not
hand.
on the run defense. That's on the play calling. If they're playing conservative, they're playing down.
Don't give me that chili jack bull crap. That was bull crap. They played a good game. Cater Cahu should have never done that pass interference. That lost us the game right there. We could have just kicked the field goal.
Wilkins and Silent were kicking ass, bro. They didn't run on us the whole game.
Hold on, I'm only talking
They were
about
getting
the
screen
narrative
patches and
that they're trying to imply. He's saying that the 30 yards of rushing is what caused us to lose the game. That's not what caused us to lose the game because they were playing conservative. They weren't.
You want to know what I think caused us the game? Like, you really want to know what I think caused us the game?
You said Tua.
What is it?
Tua.
No, Big Philly knows. I mean, people don't want to bring it up, but if we lost by 3 points, okay, and for me, I'm not putting the blame on Tua, but if he didn't fumble that ball in the beginning of the game and cost us that touchdown in the red zone when we were in scoring position, that was 4 points that he cost us. We ended up getting a field goal. And how many points did we lose by?
But we also had a drop pass in the end zone on that.
That's what I'm saying, Cap. Like there was 3 other plays after that that could have been points that we didn't. That ultimately they came out with 0.
Sherfield had that ball right in his hand.
Cater Cahu got exposed. They picked on the rookie. They picked on him.
Exposed next week too. Yeah.
But hey, honestly though, guys, we didn't get blown out.
No, exactly. That's why I'm happy.
You know, honestly, I think that put a little bit of fear into Buffalo. Damn, they came up here and played us like that.
Let's go, guys. Let's get that first down.
Yeah,
Bro,
moral
and they still don't
victory.
respect us.
Move that ball, baby.
I don't want the moral victory either. I'm upset about the loss, but you know what?
It was a good game.
It happened. But at least it wasn't a 45-14 or 17 score.
I agree with you, Todd. I agree
I
with
want to
you
ask a
100%.
Bills fan
Let's go.
if they respect us or not.
Actually, there have been some that have come out. Even a couple of the trolls that normally are trolling us are like, that was
Buffalo Bill fans gave none but props to you guys last week.
That goes on everybody's fucking panel, which I don't understand why. Fucking douchebag.
Hey, but there's been a whole bunch of Bills fans.
And again, we faced a great team. We faced a great team, guys. I can't really.
No, Josh Allen did his thing. Josh Allen did his
Allen's a
thing.
damn good quarterback.
Can y'all hear me?
Shit, I ain't gonna cap.
Yeah, we can hear you, bro. We can hear you.
Hold on, my shit just went out.
Is that you take out different microphones? You got that computer confused.
Oh, let's go. Aaron Rodgers in the red zone. Aaron Rodgers in the red zone.
All I got to say is you better hope for the Green Bay win this week because they ain't winning.
No, they're winning because I'm gonna be at the game and I'm gonna give them that Poseidon woosah, brother. Don't understand that.
From what everybody's telling me, Todd, no one cares if we end up losing this game. They say this game is not a big deal. That the Jets and the
This game is a big deal.
Bullshit. We need to win out.
Yeah, we need to win out.
How are we gonna feel it?
Well,
I'm glad at least we're on the same page with that.
You know what though? I got a good smile at the end of yesterday. Watching New England trying to duplicate the Miami Miracle and it goes ass backwards the other way.
Oh my God, that was hilarious, bro.
I died.
Well, what's epic? Hey Phil, you don't got the photo of Chandler Jones stuffing the shit out of Mac Jones onto the ground?
That was beautiful, bro. That was beautiful.
Dude, they tried to copy us and
Hey, fellas, I'm gonna have to let y'all go because it's Green Bay Packer time. Hey, listen, y'all better hope.
Go watch your Green Bay Packers lose, and they're gonna lose next week too.
Damn.
Let go.
Bunch of
Go,
cheese
Pack,
lovers.
go. Drop a little cheese. Let go, baby. See y'all, man. I'll see y'all.
We're gonna have some queso frito next week.
I got the image already. Hold on.
That was an epic. That game was crazy.
No, let me tell you something. Yesterday was great as far as like a fan. There was so much good stuff. Yeah, the New York Giants and the Washington Commanders. También.
Who won that game? I didn't. You know, I fell asleep, bro.
I think
Heineke
the
was
Giants
one
won
yard
that one.
short, bro. Heineke was about to run it in, and he ran in at the 1 yard line and didn't get in, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, but let me ask you, how do you think Kirk Cousins feels today?
Like a champion.
Yeah, that was a crazy comeback right there.
33-point comeback.
Yeah, that was. But he's done that before. He's done that before. It's not the first time.
Hey, so is Ryan. So is Matt Ryan.
They say, hey Todd, they were saying it's the curse of Frank Reich because Frank Reich had the biggest comeback in NFL history against the Houston Oilers.
Yeah, but you want to know what I think is funny? Matt Ryan now holds the postseason biggest choke job to New England, and now he holds the all-time in the NFL.
Oh God! Yeah, bro.
Yeah, that's bad. That's bad. Yeah, they actually posted that shit on Facebook today.
That's not a record you
Now
want, bro.
goes Rodgers.
That is definitely not a record you want.
No, dude.
I'm getting that picture. Give me a second, guys.
Matt Ryan, you could put him now with that. Give him a porn stash. He's a porn star with the choke job he does. That man chokes.
Well, definitely, I'm gonna be out there in the game just to be green.
If I were him, I would retire. I'd be honest. If I were Matt Ryan, I'd retire after that game. I'd be like, dude.
Right now, you need to be careful with Cleveland sneaking in. They're gonna sneak in. Dolphins keep bullshitting.
No, Dolphins need to win out. I say it's an important game this
That's
week.
what I'm
I don't care
saying,
what
bro. Like
says.
everybody says, Cap, why you tripping? Why you overreacting? Why you hating? Why you being a troll?
I would rather go into the playoffs. I would rather go into the playoffs on a 3-game win streak.
Bro, we were in second place last time we had this debate. Now we're in 7.
Hey, Philly, I think you got something going on. You keep posting up the same comment from American Pride, Ohio, and I see 2 of you.
I'm trying to pull it.
Don't nobody want to see that shit.
Damn, it's bad enough seeing one of you, let alone 2.
Your ass kept coming on here talking about fucking Duke Riley was the savior. He got his ass burnt all fucking game again.
Hey, you need to put your mic on, bro, because you. Yeah. Talk closer to the mic. You forgot you had a mic.
I don't want to. Fuck y'all. My back is on fire. Bro. God damn.
Must have forgotten you got a mic, brother.
No, bro. I'm trying to do 3 things at once right now, bro. Fuck you. All right, here he goes.
You know the Dolphins need? They need some croquetas and pastelitos.
You know another thing I blame for the loss? How many 3rd and 1s do we not run the ball when we're running it down their throat?
Well, when you got Tyreek Hill and Waddle, that's gonna happen, bro.
Yeah, but you still, when you have Moser with 100 yards in the first quarter, you kind of on 3rd and 1 kind of go back to the run every now and then. I'm not saying on all of them, but a couple of them would be nice.
I agree with you, man. I agree with you.
Moser was torching them, and you saw on that 69-yard run, how many tackles did he break?
He broke a lot of them. He and let me tell you, for a guy that came back from an ACL injury, he's running that ball really good for a guy that was injured.
Hell, what's his?
Now you imagine would have Jeff Wilson healthy.
Yeah, but Oxford did good too.
Yeah, he did. He
He
did.
did. He did. That line was really blocking though. The run blocking was good yesterday.
Dude, yeah, but even still, that run up the middle for the touchdown, he broke a couple little hits there going up that middle.
Yeah.
I didn't see Eric Fisher out there. Did you guys see him?
No, he didn't play.
He's not. He hasn't played yet, huh?
No, they're getting him in game shape. He was retired, man. He has to be ready to play.
Oh yeah.
Plus,
I heard something about him being active. I heard him something about.
I think he's more the backup left tackle right now because that's what he was.
There
playing.
we go.
Yeah, that's epic.
That one.
Right.
Yep, that's the one.
Dude, and
we got to send that to Patriots fans.
You know what makes that so beautiful, though, too? Look who it is pushing Mac Jones now. A guy who left Belichick years ago and had like an axe to grind with Belichick. Chandler Jones.
Yeah, that was like he should put that on a poster.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
He should put that on a poster.
I might make that my background. You like my new background? My new background, gangster.
Hey, and I know we're talking Dolphins, but damn, the Hurricanes are pulling in some recruits.
Yeah, they're pulling in a lot of 5 stars.
You gotta make sure that flag don't fall over there in the corner.
The flag ain't gonna fall.
Why are you looking?
I had to look back.
You weren't sure, huh?
Hey, they also just stole Alabama's offensive lineman.
Yeah, I saw that. I talked about that earlier. MCJB just seems to not care, but I'm like, all right, dude, whatever. You think Alabama's still the same Alabama?
Hey,
you got nothing coming.
Did you see what his numbers are in his 2 years starting at guard? 1,600 dropbacks, and he hasn't given up a sack.
Good, we need that.
The man can play.
These quarterbacks in the games, bro, be running for their lives.
Yeah, there haven't been
like Aaron Rodgers
tackles.
Yeah, like Aaron Rodgers.
There's been a lot of consistent ones.
No, we have ever since I think the last great lineman we had was McKinney.
No, it was Jeff Delenbach, brother.
Fuck you. He played for Wisconsin.
Yeah, I was gonna say he never played for the U.
No, he played for Wisconsin. It was a joke, but he played for Wisconsin. He was a Badger.
Awesome job pulling in Delenbach.
I thought it was a fun interview. I know him. He's a cool dude. He did me a favor, and in return I shout out his foundation. I'm gonna get that jersey, have him sign it, then I'm gonna auction it off once we get more subscribers. But he's a cool dude, man. He's a funny guy. The guy you have on camera was the guy you have in real life. He's tight. He talks like that. He's more down to earth. He's chill. He like I said, those voicemails.
He's from Wisconsin.
Yeah, those
they
voicemails
all are up there.
Shit. So, like I would play some of those voicemails he leaves me. He's like, "Oh, Phil, you're not answering the phone. If you don't answer the phone, I'm about to come down there and kick your ass." Shit like that. But he's a fun dude, man. He's a fun dude, and I really do like.
I'm just saying, good job pulling him in, man. Good job.
Yeah, well, I need to get more players on here. Little by little, bro. Little by little. As I start talking to more people, I get. Look, that was my first real good interview. I had another. I mean, we did the Philly sports guy earlier in the year, which was another great interview. So as I get more interviews in and I get more comfortable, as our panel gets more comfortable, Poseidon couldn't show up this one, but hopefully he'll be in on the next one. He was in on the Philly sports guy. Willie Beeman was a little busy. Huevo got in on this and asked a couple of great questions coming from the Green Bay Packers perspective. As we continue to grow as a panel, then hopefully these interviews become more and more frequent. So that's our goal, Little by little, bro, baby steps. Rome wasn't built in one day. But you know what was? You liking and subscribing. So for those of y'all who are new, make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all subscribe. Remember, if you subscribe, you get a free entry. When we reach the 200 subscribers, I'm giving you away a Nick Needham autographed jersey. So make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe. Make sure you hit that beautiful bell on the top to notify you when I'm online. And
I wish you, man. You know what brought up bad memories in that damn Buffalo game, though?
What?
Cole Beasley coming out in that field. Remember how You remember how he used to torch us last? Shoot. That man used to kill us. He was a dolphin killer. I'm glad they only used him on a couple of plays.
Motherfucker, this is somebody put in the comment section, free adult porn site. We don't do that here. Blocked. Motherfucker. That's probably somebody.
That's how you know you're big time, man.
Yeah,
You
right. You're getting the bots coming in.
When you get those bots coming in,
Yeah.
that ain't bots. I know who that is, but you know what? It's all right.
What?
It's all right. They just
That
hate
man
us.
said, I know who that is. I'm not going to shout them out, though.
They just hate us. Haters gonna hate. They just mad because, you know, we got this dude, Mr. Delenbach, on the show. We having fun on here. We ain't no negative Nancy's. Cat for Life came in here a little negative today, but it's all right, though. It's all right. I understand. You scared. It's good, though. You know, but it's all right. We digress. We move on. We got Green Bay this week. Big Philly gonna come dressed up as Santa. Pisani gonna throw down on the grill. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna talk some shit. And hopefully, and in turn, we get a W.
I think we will this week. It'll be back at home.
We should get a W. We should be fine. You know, we got these next 3 games, and a lot of people aren't talking about this. I talked about this earlier. Buffalo has a very remaining 3 games for them are also very challenging.
One isn't.
No, well, no, all 3 are, because if I'm not mistaken, they play Cincy, the Pats, and they play the Jets. No,
I think they already played the Jets twice.
Who they play then? I thought it was those 3.
No, they got one easy one, I think.
Let me. It might be Jacksonville.
No, it's not Jacksonville.
Buffalo Bills schedule. Let's see the remaining 3 games. Shit.
Yeah.
They got the Bears, but the Bears put up a fight against. The Bears put on a little fight this week.
Yeah, but they still don't have their quarterback.
No, Fields was back in. He played.
Oh, he was.
Yeah, he had a nasty run for a touchdown.
All right, so who do they play? The Bears.
They play the Bears. They play the Bengals, and then they play the Pats.
Yeah.
So basically, I think they lose the last 2 games, but there's a good. It just depends on this Bears game. If they come out and they lose to the Bears.
If they lose to the Bears, they might lose the last 2 games because if they're smart, Josh Allen's been playing hurt. If you clinch the division, you start thinking about resting.
They won't. They won't. The only way they clinch is with a win.
I'm saying if they beat the Bears, I would end up.
If they beat the Bears, they'll lose out. They'll sit. I would sit Allen, but they won't. They won't. They want to.
No, remember, they're the number 1 seed.
They're not going to sit. But if they lose to the Bears, it puts us in a very good position if we beat Green Bay. Because what happens is now there's 2 remaining games on the schedule. Those 2 games for Miami are very challenging because they're must-win situations.
I'll be honest with you. I don't think we will win the division because I don't see Buffalo losing.
The only way going down that path is if they lose.
But I still want to win out. No matter what, you got to win out.
I agree with you, Todd. But is anybody going to sit there and mention the terrible game Justin Herbert played? Not even Tua has played a game like that.
Hold up. What was his numbers?
I'll tell you right now. I'm looking it up right now. Just be. He threw for 313 and 2 and so the game was 17-14. He threw 28 for 42 for 313, no touchdowns, 2 INTs. But they barely pulled the win out of that game.
You know, the one thing I will say, Tua very, very rarely throws more INTs than he does touchdowns. He's usually tied or has one more touchdown. And he never goes 0 touchdowns with picks like that.
Yep. I agree.
And he had Mike Williams and Allen. So,
bro, and you know what's crazy, bro, is that there's still fans in this fan base that continue to say the fans cost us. I mean, the refs cost us this game, bro. The refs did not cost us this game.
That pass interference at the end cost us the game.
I don't
I'm gonna
even think
continue saying it.
I don't.
It did, but it was an
There were
aggressive
so
game.
there were so many plays that cost us that game. I'm gonna be honest. There's the three. There's the pass interference. There's the 3 drops or 2 drops. There is a bunch of plays that cost us that game.
That touchdown that Tyreek dropped and Sherfield dropped there at
Dude, that Sherfield drop killed. That was in his hands right where it needs to be.
yeah, it was only for him.
Yeah, and it went right through his hands to the ground. It was like, what the?
Yeah. So you can't just blame a lot. Like I said again, there was a lot of controlling factors that cost us to lose that game.
But the game was 29-29. The game was tied up. The whole thing with that third and 12.
Them giving up the 2-point conversion is another one.
Hey, hold up. What about the 3rd and 17?
3rd and 17. There's a lot of control.
How the hell do you give up a pass?
Yeah,
because
but that
wasn't
at the end of the game. That wasn't at the end of the game.
That was on the final drive. That was
the final drive.
The 3rd and 17?
Yes, when they found Gabe. They found Gabe. What's his name? Gabe Davis.
Yeah. That was on the final
drive.
Wide
open. Like nobody near him. And make it worse, Allen had a guy about to hit him when following him out towards the sideline.
Yeah.
I just feel like Cater Kahu just blew it.
No, Cater did mess up, but it wasn't that.
It was bad because it's pretty much the end of the game.
Hey, so it's the 3rd and 17. Can you imagine him going back 3rd and 17, and if that play goes incomplete, then you're 4th and 17?
So what the
game over?
No, but that one didn't go because they threw it to Gabe Davis and he caught it. However, the one that they threw to Cater Kahu was clearly overthrown. Clearly.
No, Cater Kahu, that was underthrown. It was thrown backside, and Cater Kahu never looked back. That's why he got called.
Yeah.
That was a clean PI. Cater Kahu got PI.
Oh, yes, I know he did. Okay.
In fact, I'm actually looking at, hold on. My back. Oh, I feel old as shit.
If it was overthrown, it doesn't matter. Clearly the receiver wasn't going to catch that ball. He was not going to catch that ball at all.
Here we go. You ready? Boom. So they're going to pause it. It gets paused right there. As you can see, he's not looking back. The ball's in the air. And then the play goes on. It's thrown backside, and he pushes him off, never looks back. That's a PI, bro.
He would have caught that ball.
I never said it wasn't. I never said it wasn't. I never said it wasn't.
I got you.
What I'm saying is, right there, it was an incomplete pass. The receiver was not going to catch that ball. All he had to do was turn his head. He made a rookie mistake at a bad time.
Because if he turned around, that would have been a pick. If he turned around, that would have been a pick.
It could have been. It could have been. However, it was a PI.
Again, though, we talking because what could have been, but like Mr. Delenbach said, the heat of the moment, bro. It is, it is what it is. You got to do what you got to do, and sometimes plays are called. Yes, they could have been different, but I mean, it's easier to say once it already happened. But in the heat of the moment, you got to stick to your game plan. And I mean, he is a rookie. He's young. He's inexperienced. But in a very tough situation against a very good quarterback, that quarterback just got the better of him.
So then don't talk to me about the 3rd and 17.
Well, the 3rd and 17 was
they caught that. They caught it. They caught it. Yeah. They caught it. And they got a first down.
But I haven't really been talking about and I've always said it, and that's why Cap got mad and left. And I'm like, bro, you got to take the good from the bad. Yes, we lost. It's not like when we lost to LA, and it's not like when we lost to San Francisco.
He probably dishes out a lot of money. He probably dishes out a lot of money for the Finns. So that's why I could understand that he's upset. I could understand that he's upset because he dishes out a lot of money. So
Yeah.
my recommendation to him will be, don't spend that much amount of money on them.
Dude,
I don't bet like on single games. I only bet if I do bet, it's fantasy style on FanDuel, and I bet on specific players. But at the end of the day, like I'm not saying that Cap is betting. I think he's just more frustrated because he's an older fan like us, and he's probably tired of all the
older like you all.
You're old as shit. So I'm older, but I'm not
Yeah,
old.
but how old can shit be?
He probably
Shit, I'm 33 years old. Is that old?
Hey,
I'm
Todd's
47.
Todd's so
Oh
old
damn.
that when he farts,
Well,
he
that's not
farts
that old
dust.
either.
He farts out dust. Hey, it's my boy. Let me welcome to the panel my boy with the best insight, Mr. C fucking T. Oh shit, I accidentally removed you. Hold on. Let me put you back.
Sub CT.
That's what happens when you double.
He done
That's
left.
what happens when you double click. No, that's my fault. That's my fault. I accidentally removed him from the stream. I accidentally double clicked.
Damn.
Damn, he kicked you
what's
out
going
that
on?
quick.
What's up?
What's going on, CT?
CT, what's up?
What's going on, y'all?
And he left.
What's up?
That wasn't me. That time it wasn't
Oh.
me.
CT came on here smoking a cigarette. I just heard him blow all the smoke out.
What's up, bro?
Chilling. What's going on, boys?
Chilling, man.
Chilling, can't complain.
Had a great
interview.
StreamYard's
very
messing
fun
up.
interview.
I gotta back out and come back in.
I got you. I'll let you in once you get back in. But yeah, bro, like I said it before, I take it as positive criticism. Miami had played a great game. They lost to a great team.
The defense didn't play that great. The defense didn't play that great.
Hey, you know what I will say?
It was still competitive, bro. It was a fun game to watch.
It was cold weather, and Tua still did the job that he needed to do.
Yep.
Hey, is that better now?
Yeah, we hear you.
You blew out the smoke already, CT?
Oh, bro, I had
CT.
some stress, bro. So, yeah.
CT, how was the game that stressful for you?
Nah, man. I don't know what game you're talking. No, not that. Yeah, no, I was. Yeah, I'll tell you later.
No, I'm just saying though. What did you think of the Buffalo game, man?
It was aggravating. It was frustrating for sure. I mean, Tua comes out, plays well. Receivers weren't helping him. The defense didn't help him. Josh Boyer is still calling shitty play calls all across the board. Mike McDaniel messed up on that 3rd and 2. I mean, I get it. Originally, when he dove, they marked him originally like 5 yards short, saying, "Oh, he was sliding. He gave himself up." But in reality, he tripped. But at that 3rd and 2, you call a timeout, and then you run the ball and get a damn first down. And of course, you know, the refs screwed us all night. Our receivers were getting mugged. Tyreek Hill got bear hugged from behind a few times before the ball. It was just a shit show, man. And yet we still almost beat supposedly the number 1 team in the AFC. So
exactly. That's what I take out of that.
I tell you what, I have not seen it.
Just to lose the way. I mean, think about it. If Tyreek makes that catch, we're up. If Sherfield makes his catch, we win the game.
That's the one that hurt.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. And if they didn't hold Waddle while he was going on a post, he would have been wide open. But the guy's grabbing him by the back of the jersey the entire way. And I watched the all 22 because Irvin had showed it to us on the other one where, dude, the ref's looking right at him while the guy's grabbing the back of Waddle's jersey and he still doesn't throw a flag. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, you're staring right at them as they're running by you. But
I will say this, that pass to Tyreek was so beautiful for that touchdown. He dropped that thing so perfect.
Yep. And Sherfield, too. I mean, it was a perfect throw down in a way where it's supposed to. And early in the game on the first drive, Tyreek dropped another one on the first drive. And so did, what's his name? Cedric Wilson Jr. Cedric Wilson Jr. dropped the fucking pass, too, on the very first drive.
He also had a nice catch, though, later on to try to make up for it off the helmet. That was
I mean, and I get that, but I'm just saying in that first drive, killing that momentum, and then how many times I love Robert Hunt, but damn, Robert Hunt got 2 fucking penalties in a row.
Yeah, that too.
Damn, what are you doing? And it's like, bro, it was a shit show, and yet we still almost won, and we lost by 3. When, of course, what was it, like 6 or 7 minutes left? It starts fucking dumping snow. It's like, you know what? For us to lose like that, no, there is no moral victory. I'm still pissed off we lost. But at the same time, moving forward, it makes me feel better that, again, all those narratives about Tua are out the window. In all reality, if we play even half as good as we played that game, the next 3 games are fucking, bro, we're rolling over, guys.
Hey, CT, I got to ask you this, because I asked the panel earlier. How'd you like New England trying to pull off the Miami Miracle?
Oh, bro, I was laughing so hard. Big Philly knows when we were backstage or whatever, we were on Iceman's, and I was like, bro, that's the dumbest thing ever. Like, bro, you're tied. You're tied. Why would you do hook and ladder when you're tied? That's the stupidest shit I've ever heard of. But it was even more fitting that it's Chandler Jones, who's a former Patriot, stiff arms Mac Jones to the ground and runs for a touch. That made it even better. For sure. That definitely made it good.
I was waiting to see them put that receiver, all the things to be on IR for a couple of weeks.
Now, here's another thing, though. Let me ask you guys this. Does that play overtake the butt fumble as the worst play in NFL history?
Yes.
That was like a fumble and an interception at the same time.
Hold on. The butt fumble was something that happened, yes. But that was going out of your way to make it stupid by throwing it back to Mac Jones like he's going to outrun everybody. He's no Michael Vick or anybody. What's Mac Jones going to do? Catch the ball and go down?
I don't think he's going to last too long in the league. I'm going to be honest with you.
I agree. Mac Jones has done nothing this year but slide backward. You can call it sophomore slump. You can call it whatever you want, but
listen.
Well, that could be That could be though Matt Patricia.
Hold on. That's what I was about to say. Matt Patricia has his hand in that one, I think, too.
Yeah.
But you don't think Belichick controls all that?
No.
Belichick has the control.
Yeah, but regardless, Belichick is not an offensive guru. He's a defensive guy.
Yeah, but
they have nobody on that staff that's an offensive-minded.
But you're right, Todd. But that still doesn't change his decision making, bro. He threw an interception into quintuple coverage. There were 5 players there. I'm sorry, but the quarterback coach or the offensive coordinator.
Well, even the quarterback coach is the defensive coordinator. Is Joe Judge.
No, and I get that, but I'm saying they shouldn't have to tell him. They shouldn't have to tell him, "Hey, don't throw it in."
Hey, Joe Judge was not a defensive coordinator. He was a special teams coach for New England before he went to become a head coach.
Oh, even worse.
And he was garbage as a head coach.
He coached the fucking punter.
I'm just saying though, how in the hell? I'm sorry, but an offense coordinator and quarterback coach shouldn't have to tell you not to throw it in between 5 guys. I'm sorry.
True.
A quarterback
but
should know right off
it
the
could be
bat
too, like we saw a lot of his frustration during some of those games.
Hey, listen, I am not a Mac Jones supporter, but Mac Jones has the same problem though that I hate to say it, Tua's had the last couple years with no offensive coaching and his best receiver is Devontae Parker, who's barely on the field.
Well, he's out again with a concussion, so
yeah.
Well, hey, at least it's not a hamstring.
You're right.
That's a low blow.
But it's so true.
Sad but true. Sad but true.
Yeah, man, that's fucked up. That's some funny ass shit though.
I mean, I'd take the concussion. The concussion's only 1 week. The fucking hamstring, he'll be out the rest of the season.
I think this is going to be his 2nd week if he's out again.
Dude, he got rocked though.
He got lit the fuck up.
I will say this though, nobody got rocked harder than that quarterback for the Jets though. A couple weeks, was it last week?
You tripping? Bro.
Oh, Mike White.
Yeah, Mike White. But no, I think that hit on Russell was pretty.
Supposedly there was a rumor that he went to go see like 10 doctors or something like that to get cleared to play.
And they all said no because he could puncture a lung.
Dude,
Yeah.
he got rocked on that. He got bent in half.
Yeah, but I mean, that's.
I'm glad they're not doing that to our quarterback.
Well,
Again.
yeah, but I'm saying that's part of the game, though, and I think that
Oh, it is.
again, it really comes down to, and this is, I hate to say it, but even after he gets healed, I guarantee you he's wearing a flak jacket every fucking game.
Oh yeah, definitely. Tua wears a flak jacket. Tua wears a flak jacket.
Hold up. We also had something else happen in this game. This is the first Buffalo game Tua has not gotten hurt in a while.
That's true. He played the full game.
Didn't he play the first game? What about the first game? He did.
He was out a
you remember
while.
he left and came back because of the
Oh
yeah.
You're right.
And then last year he got his ribs broken.
Yeah, in the first game.
I was actually at that game. I heard the hit. That was abuse.
That shit, boy. That was a crazy hit too. So that's what I'm saying. It's the first game that he actually played the full game in Buffalo.
We should have won that game, though. I'm sure.
Yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is, bro. We got to move on now. We got to play this team that's on my screen right now, Green Bay, and we got to focus on them now. I'm pretty sure Miami's already long past them.
Hey, I tell you what, our night. Well, we have an extra couple days to practice for it too.
Yeah,
and it's a long weekend.
And they're probably sitting there watching. They're watching this game right now and just collecting their own notes and getting ready for this game. I know Tua should be watching.
Hey, I will say another player who showed out in Buffalo who I can't wait to see with Rodgers in his sight. Jalen Phillips, man.
Yeah, that's a stud. That boy's a stud.
Actually, that's since we're talking about Jalen Phillips, right? Let's talk about something else. So a lot of people, there's a couple fans in these podcasting community that are calling for Bradley Chubb, right? That they want to put him on a missing milk carton because they feel that he hasn't been as productive as what they're paying him for. And I need some people to understand something. Those same people that are saying that are the same people that were saying that Ndamukong Suh wasn't worth his money. He's taking double teams to free up guys like Wilkins and guys like Phillips.
This is the first time this year since Bradley Chubb has shown up. Phillips is not facing double teams.
Yeah. So
exactly.
it's freeing up the rest of the line.
The chips are going on Bradley Chubb's side more than they are on Jalen Phillips' side.
Well, that, and you also put into account, though, they've been trying. Now, they didn't do it this past game against Buffalo, which it made them fucking realize they were stupid, is most of the other teams have been doubling Wilkins, and then they've been chipping and putting a guy on Bradley Chubb. So right there, we should have one free guy. And I'm sorry, but, you can't sit here and say without the loss of Ogba and whatever, that it hasn't fucking hurt us because, bro, they were doubling Ogba points in the season too.
But here's the thing with Chubb.
They better resign Wilkins. They better resign him.
Oh, bro, he's gonna want the truck, brother. He's gonna want the truck.
Here's the other thing about Chubb.
Bam.
Chubb is also learning a new system, period. And I know you've been here a couple of weeks, but you're still learning a whole new system and Miami's blitz system and their packages, they're not the easiest things to learn. So he's out there, he's still winging it to a point. And he's taking double teams. So I got to give him props out there because he's made Jalen Phillips look like a monster on the other side.
He's doing what he has to do to open it up, bro. And that's what I was trying to say earlier today, when they were kind of bashing him a bit.
You don't know how much I wanted to celebrate watching our safety, Javon Holland, come back in the game. But did you notice what he has now on the back of his jersey?
Yeah, neck roll. Here's the neck roll.
I remember the most famous neck roll in Miami was Brian Cox.
Yeah, him and Zach Thomas.
Zach too, yeah.
Zach was another big one with the neck
roll.
roll.
No, that's not true, though, because Zach didn't have a full neck roll. He only had that quarter neck roll. He had that short one.
Yeah,
Brian Cox had that big old fucking one.
It looked like a big old square in the back of his helmet, behind his helmet.
Yeah, Zach had that half
wasn't this guy Cox in the 90s?
Yeah.
Damn, I should have asked Jeff how was it like playing against him.
What do you mean?
Because remember Jeff went to play for the Pats.
Yeah.
And he went to play for the Packers. So it would have been cool to see if he ever got to play on the other side of Cox, because I think Jeff retired. Jeff retired in I think '98.
Cox was an animal, man. Cox was somebody. And now, have you heard him talk lately? He's coaching now, and he's
really?
so different. He's so different than what he used to be.
Why, he don't talk as much shit?
No.
It's because he's older.
Hey, you guys have a good night, man. My phone's about to die, so you guys have a good night.
No, not a problem. Thank you, Poseidon. Got it, bro. So yeah, bro. I wish I would have asked him that, because that was one of the questions I wanted to ask prior to the Buffalo game. With the rivalry and shit like that.
What's the score? What's the score of the game right now?
3-3. 3-3. But
I'm gonna have to go rewatch
the game.
Nah, your show.
Oh yeah, no, you got to rewatch the beginning of the show, bro. I had Jeff Delenbach on here. We were talking for a good amount of time, and he talked about his foundation.
Yeah, I know. I wanted to fucking watch the shit, but
yeah, that was a lot of fun. I got him off pretty. I asked him what I didn't want. I told him I didn't want to keep him on the show too long, because I wanted to open a panel after he left. So I had him on for about a half hour. But he was fun. It was a lot of fun. It was a fun interview. Definitely.
Especially if he does it again, we'll have more questions, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, leading up to probably the postseason, I'll probably have, if we get into the postseason, depending where we get to in the postseason, whether it's the AFC Championship.
Okay, now it's time for another 6-game win streak.
Yeah, basically, I'll get him on then, just to get his experience and how teams prep during that time of the year, during those points in the season, and kind of get his input. But he said it himself, the game now to the way he played then, it's completely different. So what with preparation, how the preparation leading up to the game,
the practices alone,
practices, everything is just completely different.
But I think
come on, when do you hear? They used to have 3 a day.
Well, yeah, but I think he can give some good insight being on playoff teams about, how the atmosphere is different, because everybody says, oh, it's just faster and it's this and it's that.
No,
I don't necessarily think it's that. I think it has everything to do with, it's the mentality of players knowing there is no next week. If you lose, there is no next week.
Exactly. Every play is magnified, basically.
Yep.
That goes into different preparation, leading up to the week and everything like that. So,
hey guys, you know what I did like about after the game though? I like Tyreek Hill coming out and saying, "I'm going to play better. That ain't going to happen again."
But that wasn't his fault. I retweeted his shit. I don't know if you saw it. I don't really care if he did or didn't. But I said, bro, it ain't your fault, dog. It's a team game.
No, but it's still the way he comes out with accountability, though. He's showing his leadership.
Yeah, but
the man is a true leader.
But Tua also acknowledged that during his press conference that he doesn't want guys doing that. It's a team game. And I'm pretty sure he was talking about Tyreek's comment. So it goes both ways. But with that being said, guys, it's 9:10.
All right, bro.
Before you guys leave.
Yeah, go ahead, Kane.
Who do you guys want to see our playoff opponent be?
I don't care.
Unfortunately,
I just want to make it.
Yeah, I agree. But I did the playoff machine on on ESPN, and based on this week's results, even if we win the next 3, we only technically, unless one team like completely shits out, the only 2 we would possibly play are the Bills and the Bengals.
No, right now
I want the Chiefs.
No, right now they have us playing the Chiefs.
Yeah, give me them.
Oh, yeah, but that's based on this. As of right now, I'm saying I did it to where we went through the next 3 weeks with us winning, even with the next 3 weeks. And if we lose to the Packers and win the Patriots and Jets, now the Patriots and Jets did us a favor from them losing this weekend. We have a little bit more wiggle room, but based on the NFL playoff machine being like filled out, the only two that they had said based on. I mean, obviously, I kind of picked the favorites in each one just to see. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's not like I'm,
Right.
but based on those, what I did, it was either the Bengals or the Bills.
You know what, though? Honestly, I feel a little bit different about the Bills now. I wouldn't mind facing them in the playoffs.
I don't mind facing any team. I think that this game, and that's what I was saying earlier. I take it with a grain of salt because I think this game just proved that we can play in any climate and still be and still produce and be successful and execute. I just think that there were certain aspects of the game where Buffalo executed better and they won the game because of it. But I mean, at the end of the day, we still put on a fucking show and we weren't embarrassed on national television, and that's all I cared about.
Yep.
So, it was a great game, bro, and like guys like Cap and everybody who picked the Dolphins to lose, and yet they're mad that they lost. It's like, dude, but you picked them to lose. Why are you mad? You picked us to lose anyways. So why does it matter? Same shit. We're blaming the refs. Like Batman right now is putting on a narrative with the referees. There was calls missed on both sides. Like, I don't understand that. Yes, Cater Kohu got called for a PI at the end of the game, but that was a blatant PI.
Yeah.
Like, that was so bad that they could not throw the flag.
So was the Waddle play, though.
Yeah, I get it, but on both sides there was plays missed. There was on both sides there was like the offensive PI on Connor that wasn't called. So like it goes both ways. It goes both ways. Even one of the sacks on Josh Allen, there was body weight added to him, and they didn't call it.
Right.
So you can't really like say the refs cost us the game. What cost us the game was we didn't execute when we needed to win the game, and that was on
what the 2-point conversion.
That exactly, bro.
Or
exactly.
Instead.
What about that one though?
We didn't even have to convert
good or bad?
If we just kicked the extra point, we would have won. That's what comes back to bite you in the ass.
No, we wouldn't have.
For the Bills, the one that got overturned.
That
shit pissed me off.
He did. Yeah, but he did break the plane.
Yeah.
He did break the plane. It showed it from the side.
I don't know about all that, man.
No, he broke the plane.
I see it different.
He broke the plane, but it was so close. But he probably just broke it by like a hair.
I'm a Sherfield fan because of all he does.
I don't know. I think the refs give him a break.
I'm putting that one on him.
Oh, bro. Yeah, absolutely. Because the funny thing about it is people don't understand that. If you go back and watch his 2 touchdowns from earlier this season in the first 2 games, guess what? They were the exact same fucking play as the one he just dropped this Sunday or this Saturday. It was the exact same play. So it's not like he didn't know where the hell he was supposed to be and where the ball was going to be coming from.
No, that's where the ball is supposed to go on that play, and he knows that.
Yep. And he just didn't get down fast enough to get it.
No, that wasn't it either. He let it get to his chest, and a wet ball getting to your chest, it slid right through to the ground.
Maybe. The way I saw
it
was
his hands were underneath his hands were underneath it. When I saw it when they showed it on slow motion, his hands were underneath. It went through to his chest and it squeezed right between his arms on the ground.
That's hard to swallow.
So is that Tyreek.
All right, Big Billy. It's always a pleasure, my friend.
Hey, thanks.
Yeah, it is, man. For real.
Stay on backstage. Hey man, Canes Dolphins, thank you for coming on, Todd.
All
Cap for life. I always love you. You're always a brother to me. Even
hey, by the way, CT, you ever need a friend, you can get a hold of me. Bro.
Oh, my back. Oh Lord Jesus, my back. That's what happens when you carry this podcast for so long. Your back starts to hurt. Oh
damn.
Youngest man. Old motherfucker out there.
I feel old. All that fucking shit. I feel fucking old right now. I'm young, but I feel old.
Yeah.
Shit. My back hurts. Hey, man, but thank you guys for coming on. As always,
hey,
Jeff
Delenbach.
Hey, man, don't forget, guys, go on Instagram, follow the Jeff Delenbach Foundation. They do a lot of good stuff for our community, man. If you guys can donate, I encourage you guys to donate. They're doing a fishing trip in August. If you don't feel comfortable just donating, you want to actually do something for the community, you can go out to the fishing trip. I think he said 250, but it might go up a little more for the entry fee for the Mahi tournament. So definitely go check that out, man. Y'all have a great night. I will catch you guys on Friday. All right. Y'all have a great night, man.
All right.
Gerardo.